This is probably one of the most controversial games of 2024, like in the FPS space, right? But a lot of people bump into the problem right there, actually playing the game. Now I want to talk about the gameplay in Xdefiant. The gameplay as it stands currently and what's going on is very much unacceptable to Abel Green. This is a video I know you've been waiting for, to hear my thoughts on Xdefiant. This is definitely going to be an interesting video because it's not going to be structured like anything I have ever made. It's just me just taking the bullet points of conversation pieces about Xdefiant and just providing my honest thoughts on the game currently. Now, if you're a person that's looking into spending your time in the Xdefiant ecosystem, this video is for you. And this is also for the person that just wants to know my thoughts and my honest take on the game as a friend to my community here. So if that sounds good, make sure that you like this video. And also, if you want to stay up to date on all the shooter news and updates that you care about, consider subscribing today. This is probably one of the most controversial games of 2024, like in the FPS space, right? A lot of people were either cheering for Xdefiant's success or really hoping that the game just would disappear and just wanted nothing to do with it, right? But I'm here to set the record straight and give you my honest thoughts on what's going on with this game here. Now, when you play Xdefiant, I'm going to say this as a friend, it takes time to get used to the game. You're not going to come into this title and just feel like you're right at home. You're just not going to. You're just not going to. I don't care who you are. It's going to take some time for you to get acclimated to how the game's pacing is, how your controls are in the game. Mind you, there are a lot of control options in this title, man. Like a lot. A lot. So there's a lot of things to tinker around with to get the game feeling at the pace you want it to, like when you're going against foes and things, and get your gameplay right for yourself personally. Keep that in mind. But this game has taken a old school approach in the sense that they've taken the old Call of Duty struggles, like from the good old days, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare that we ever had. And they made it so when you come into this game, you're going to struggle, period. Like you're going to struggle. Okay. Then once you find a class that you could put some attachments on your weapons and things like that, you could start to see the game slowly but surely opening up, right? But a lot of people bump into the problem right there, actually playing the game and actually seeing it through to a certain segment where the game opens up for you. They don't get that far. So, and guys, check this out. I almost was that person. Now listen to me. So when I personally was playing Xdefiant, I came into the game and mind you, I'm playing with controller, and mouse and keyboard or controller preference does matter in this title as well. Some people like the game with the controller, such as myself. Some people love the game on mouse and keyboard. The choice is yours, but it's an important one to make. Now, with that said, came into the game, I was playing the game, and I'm like, bro, I'm just not faring well here. I'm using the preset classes and playing the game, and I'm just like, yo, I'm not doing too good. I feel like everybody got the one up on me, and they probably did at that moment because people probably put in hours of gameplay, and I'm just coming fresh off of work, just trying the game out for the first time at its launch and just seeing what I could do, and I wasn't faring well. Now, mind you, I'm going through the motions live on stream, and if you guys don't know, I stream on Twitch. The links are down in the description below. You'll see it. But yeah, I was streaming on Twitch and I was like, yo, I'm getting my ass kicked here. But thank God somebody in my community, shout out to Practical, he was like, Abel, let me slide through with you and play with you. I'm glad that happened because that pulled me through to my third hour in this play session here, right? That pulled me through. And once I was able to put the attachments on my gun, it was just like old school Call of Duty. When your weapons are up, and everything's going on with your weapon well and coming along fine, your gameplay starts progressing and the game starts to open up to you, right? So that's what I noticed for myself personally, because I was like, man, this is rough. I'm really not, I don't get it. Like, it's not clicking for me right now. But if you stick it out, I'm telling you, if you stick it out, the game opens up and you start going off and going stupid, right? But a lot of people may not even get to that point because they'll play what they play and they'll be like, not for me. I'm done, or whatever the case is, or I knew this game sucked, or whatever, and things like that. You're going to have those folks. And then you're going to have the people that stick with it and then actually find some fun in the title that they really enjoy. Now, I want to talk about the gameplay in Xdefiant. The gameplay as it stands currently and what's going on is very much unacceptable to Abel Green. But it's not too far off from rectifying itself. Now, we must remember this with Ubisoft titles. Ubisoft tends to always stumble out the gate with most of their projects. Pay attention to the history. I remember Rainbow Six when it first dropped. The reception that title got was so poor. It made Xdefiant look sunshines and rainbows. It made Xdefiant look flawless. That's how bad R6 launched. And look where we're at now. Do you see what I'm saying here? Look where we're at now. Okay? So Ubisoft tends to stumble out the gate, but slowly but surely start to rectify things. And again, if you're viewing Xdefiant as some savior for FPS shooters, bro, please. Again, this is a B-side type title that you could really have some fun in. Now, Ubisoft wants to double down and really put some heavy support around this game, as I mentioned in previous videos. But we'll see what that comes with, right? We'll see if they really put their money where their mouth is and support this game that heavy. But Xdefiant in the gameplay sector could do a lot better. The hit reg and things just aren't up to snuff all the way. Like 80% of the times my kills are accurate, but there is that 20% where it's like, okay, what the fuck is this? Like, what just happened here? How did I lose that gun battle? You feel me? Like that's just real shit. Sometimes you're really questioning some kills and gunfights here and there. And then also this little bunny hopping thing people love to do. Oh God, we have to get that fixed. Please, we have to get that fixed. Because for some reason, there's like some immunity to death when you're in that animation. It just allows the person you're fighting to just live a little longer. It's weird. It's weird, but it needs to be fixed. I do, however, like how the weapons feel when you're in gun battles, okay? Now, mind you guys, I'm playing on a Xbox controller with the vibration on, and the weapons feel good. Like, I like what I'm playing. I really enjoy the feeling of getting my kills and stacking up kill streaks when I can, you know? And I like that progressive grind in the game to level up your weapons and really just work for that optimal weapon that you're looking for, right? Just optimizing it to the extent where it's like, okay, this weapon's solid. I like the way it plays here, and I'm going to use it in XYZ situation. I really enjoy it. It's an old school Call of Duty approach, but it works here in Xdefiant, and I think that's really cool. Overall, with the gameplay, I feel like it can feel clunky at times with the movement, but again, once you keep playing, you sort of get used to the movement of Xdefiant, and it's not so bad for what it's trying to do. I'm not comparing it to other shooters because every shooter's going to feel different. Every shooter's going to have its own identity in way it plays. You know what I mean? People look for fluid gameplay in everything. Some games don't have those characteristics. Some games don't have those attributes to even scale like that. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It just, some shooters feel like this, some shooters feel like that. And Xdefiant is one that feels kind of old school and a clunky in a way. But after you get used to it, you don't even really notice it, to be honest with you. The game modes in Xdefiant, they're cool. They're cool. Lot of respawn modes, you know what I mean? Mostly respawn modes. This game being an arena shooter. But it's cool, you know, it's okay. I'm in it for the one-lifers, right? I'm waiting for that to come through. But again, I like to play Occupy. I like to play Domination. I like to play the Escort game mode as well. those are solid to me. But I feel like we could get some game modes to really shake things up and give Xdefiant more of solidified identity to what it wants to tailor towards right now. Because honestly, as I see Xdefiant right now with all the game modes that we have, it kind of doesn't have an identity in what it wants to be, right? Like the Xdefiant experience, right? We're kind of in search of that and trying to fine tune what the definitive Xdefiant experience is. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Ubisoft usually takes some time in trying to figure itself out. So Xdefiant is sort of trying to navigate those waters right now. And it's going to take time, but I think they would get it down the road. So more One Life game modes, I would definitely welcome an official ranked playlist. You already know, I know it's coming, but I would like to see that there as well too in the game. Optimization is going to be a huge thing in this game. As I said previously in several other videos about Xdefiant, we need optimization with this game, period. I personally had issues streaming this title because the sound would just go out, like all of the sound, like my Discord sound, everything. And it will only happen when I stream Xdefiant. Had no other issues with any other shooter, any other game I load up or whatever. Xdefiant gave me this issue. So there's certain little things about Xdefiant that need to be fixed. But are we far off from progress here in that department? No. Other people will have you think that Xdefiant is such in shambles that it would never amount to anything worth playing. That's what a lot of the Xdefiant haters would say, right? There's, oh, this is that. Oh, this game's mid, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You say the same exact thing about Call of Duty every year. Like real shit. Let's please give Xdefiant a chance. But optimization is very important here. But again, they're not too far off. Hit reg needs to work better and in a big way, because I could even say that about Call of Duty sometimes. Their hit reg isn't so on. And again, AAA studio, billions of dollars into their game, and they're not perfect. You know what I mean? So let's be honest here. We're never going to get hit reg all the way right, but let's get to like the 90-95% point and play around there, because right now there's some deaths and kills that I'm just like, that's funny. That's not how that should have went. So optimization is a big thing that needs to be worked on in Xdefiant. And I think with time, we will get to a fair balance where it becomes acceptable. Now, my final thoughts, the future about Xdefiant. Abel, would you recommend this game to your community? I personally would, right? I went from saying this game is dead, playing that last horrific beta we played, to now saying this game is going to need some work, but it is a fun, addicting title when you have friends to play with and you're really in the trenches figuring the game out. That's one of the best aspects about Xdefiant, is figuring the game out and finding what works for you. That's like the magical thing that people really don't talk about. You're not going to come in this game and just start dominating. This game has a learning curve. So yeah, I think that this game does have a future. I think that a lot of temperatures just need to calm down off the hypeness. You have people going over the moon for the game, and then you have people extremely hating. I think everybody just needs to play the game, be at a more balanced state, and really check the game out for what it is and what's it really doing in real time for us as a community, right? I think that Mark Rubin will lead us correctly and do the best he can on his end to make sure that this game is working correctly and does right by us. Time would tell ultimately with that, but I personally think Xdefiant is fun. I'm having a good time with it, and I only see the game going up from here, right? I'm still going to rock out with R6. I'm still going to play Xdefiant, and now I'm looking forward to a game called Combat Champions. If you know, you know. These are the Ubisoft titles that I'm personally fond with. Between those two games, like, I'm in heaven. I'm really having a good time with my community and just gaming, bro. That's what this is about. And I'm happy to report Xdefiant is something that I could personally recommend to you guys. So guys, don't think of this as a killer of Call of Duty or of anything like that. Don't think of it as that at all. Again, B-side title that you're going to have some fun with. And heck, we'll see where it progresses. It might become some people's A game, you know? We'll see how things progress. We just don't know where Ubisoft is going to take this. Are we stumbling out the game with Xdefiant in some areas? Fuck yeah, definitely. But with time, we're going to progress, we're going to grow, and we're going to learn about the game. But it's not as bad as some might say. So guys, hopefully this video helped you. Give it a big like if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't check out my last video, be sure to click here and I'll be sure to see you there.